Dalton was an interesting character for me. When I was as I said, when I was a kid, I grew up reading sort of classic science fiction, and um, I'm a big fan of people like David Brin and Werner Vinge. And if you look at their work, um, or James Tiptree Jr. is another one, Alice Sheldon, who have a kind of a character that they like and that they use in a lot of their stories, which I refer to as sort of the hyper competent broken man. Somebody who is, unlike Mickey. Mickey's kind of a schlub. Mickey doesn't have any particular skills. He's not good at particularly anything. He's really just an everyman. I think one reviewer once said of me that my favorite character is, and put all in caps, just some guy TM. That's sort of who Mickey is. Dalton, I wanted to play with a different kind of character. Dalton is someone with a lot of achievement. He's a war hero. He's a veteran. He's somebody with an advanced engineering degree. He's somebody who's accomplished some things in his life, but then his life has been completely thrown off the rails. He's had a tragedy strike him, which has just completely knocked him off the track. And he can't find a way to get back on. And that's, like I said, that's a character that that Werner Vinge used to play with a lot. I mean, you see that in A Deepness in the Sky, for instance, Vinge's famous book. You see that in the Startide Rising series from David Brin. You see that sort of character. And Dalton's my entry into that sort of genre. That's who I wanted to play with. And it turned out to be a really fun sort of character to write. I had a really good time working with him and sort of living inside his head for a year. Yeah, this is another sort of science fiction trope that I wanted to play with and kind of turn on its head. So there's if you look at anything from Star Trek to to Brin's work to lots of other sort of science fiction stories, there's this recurring theme of like there's this galactic civilization, all these species working together, and one day they invite us to join. We humans get invited to join, and so I wanted to play with that concept and turn it around and say, okay, what if the people who invite us to join actually turn out to be a criminal gang, and there really is a galactic civilization out there, and it hates us, and it hates them, and it hates us for working with them. And that's the position that Dalton finds himself in. He's signed on with this group that's contacted us, has brought us into their fold, and then we find out, you know what, maybe we're not actually the good guys. Maybe we signed on with the wrong team here. But at that point, it's too late to back out. Burrow is he was a fun character to write too. He's describe him variously as the closest analogy would be like a giant ammonite. He's sort of this giant squid thing with a big shell. He's very pompous. He's very arrogant. He seems like a comedic character, but it's emphasized a couple of times that but he could also kill you with the flick of his wrist. He's actually very large and very dangerous. And he is sort of the captain of this vessel that's tasked with going and finding new uncontacted civilizations to supposedly bring them into the brotherhood of all species. But as Dalton begins to suspect, as the book goes on, actually really is sort of bringing them in for plunder and sort of stripping them of resources. It's not what he signed up for, but it becomes pretty clear that that's actually what he's doing. Near is actually, like a lot of my characters, lightly based on someone that I knew. I had a friend, sort of a friend, who I worked with for many years, who we golfed together. She was really nice.